It's time for another prediction video. Wait. Cue the music. Yeah, it's me, Uncle Badass here. Make sure if you're not subscribed, you press that subscribe button, and make sure after all these prediction videos, you comment down who you want me to do next. That's where I'll get all the ideas of who I'm going to predict next. But today we're going to be predicting Arizona State's 2025 schedule. Now I'll go through each week and give you a win or a loss prediction. Um, Most people when they do these prediction videos, they'll just give you what they believe their record's going to be, and that's it. I that's not what I do here. If I think there's a game or multiple games that the team's going to lose, I will point them out so you know who I'm predicting they're going to lose to. So that way you know. Now, last season, Arizona State, they had a shocking, phenomenal season. They were predicted to finish last in the Big 12. They ended up winning the Big 12. Um, they started off the season kind of okay, sort of. They lost a few games at Texas Tech and one against Cincinnati. But after that game against Cincinnati, they just got like on a hot streak. They just couldn't be stopped at that point. They got some good quality wins against teams like Oklahoma State, uh, Central Florida, Kansas State, BYU, and Arizona. They obviously went to the Big 12 championship game, faced Iowa State in that, beat them in that to get themselves a first round bye in the 12 team college football playoff. Um, and they probably had one of the best playoff games throughout the whole playoffs last season against Texas. That probably was one of the best playoff games. I'm not saying it was the best, but it definitely was probably one of the best out of the whole playoffs. Um, Texas came up in that game. They won it 39-31. But it was a good game. Went to two overtimes. There's, I believe Cam Scadaboo. I think he had like a 30 some yard reception down the field or something like that that gave Arizona State the drive they needed to get back in the game and tie it up. Um, but Texas ended up winning that game 39-31. Now, I want to talk a little bit about their defense because they're returning all their defense except one person. Um, and they had one of the best like running defenses in the Big 12 last season, and since they returned majority of their defense, it looks like they're gonna have yet another good running defense. Their passing defense, it was okay. They did go out and get some young players that will hopefully help their passing defense. But if they can just get that sort of with their running defense, then their defense will be maybe the best in the Big 12. Their offense, you obviously lose probably a really, really big piece in Cam Scadaboo. He was really like, he pretty much was majority of Arizona State's offense last season. It just, whenever like it came down to a big, game decision or something like that, the ball was going to be in his hands. Whether he was running the ball or they were passing it to him, it was going to be in his hands one way or another. Um, so I mean, and like the thing about like a player like Cam Scadaboo, uh, like if you're a team like Arizona State, I mean it's hard to like replace a running back, receiver, or whatever position it is like that because teams like Arizona State, I'm not saying they can't, get elite players, but they're not like, a Georgia, an Ohio State, an Oregon, Penn State, where those teams, recruit in the top like 10 or 5 every like every like off season. Arizona State, they just don't do that. So I mean, it's tough to replace a player like Cam Scadaboo. Um, so I mean, the running back situation will be. I don't really know what to expect. I don't know if they're gonna be able to find like another Cam Scadaboo. The one thing I do think that's gonna be impossible is like to find the same leadership that Cam Scatterboo had, because he was a leader last season, and it's just the like game mentality that he had for Arizona State last season. Like the clutch plays he had, because there's so many situations where like people were like, oh, Arizona State's, they're in a tough situation. Oh, they ain't gonna get out of it. And then Cam Scatterboo, he'll like run for like a 60-yard touchdown, or he'll run for like a big game, breaking tackles, or some sort of big play that helps out Arizona State to get him out of that terrible situation. Um, so losing a player like that, it is gonna hurt. But maybe they'll be able to find somebody somewhat decent like him. It's just I don't. It's just the leadership he had and all that. I don't know if they're gonna be able to get that back out of anybody. Um, they do return Sam Levet. He was like going into last season, he wasn't really really highly anticipated to have really that great of a season. He ended up having a damn good season. And I do think him returning this season will help, especially in the passing game. He also he's projected Sam Lele. He's projected to be a first or second round pick in next year's NFL draft. They also returned wide receiver Jordan Tyson, another projected first round pick next year draft. So their passing game, I'm not really too worried about. I trust Sam Levet. I trust that you have Jordan Tyson on. You do have a few other offensive pieces on there too. So your passing game's gonna be good. The only really question really about Arizona State that you really should have really is like their passing defense and running on offense. The running game on offense. Like I said, if they can sort of tweak that like passing defense and get it somewhere like decently close to how Arizona State's running defense is, then they may have the best defense in the Big 12, honestly, if they can do that. And it's the same thing with running game. You obviously ain't gonna have Cam Scatterboo this season, but maybe if you can, get one or two running backs, sort of and combine them to maybe sort of, create sort of like another Cam Scatterboo or something like that, then that could help out Sam Levet. But let's get into the schedule, and I'll try my best to predict what Arizona State's record will be by the end of 2025 season. All right, Arizona State starts off the season against North Arizona. That's an easy win. That's like a practice game, honestly, for him. And then the next week, you have a road game at Mississippi State. Now, two things about it, and they're both good news. One, Mississippi State just is really not that good. Um, last season last season they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. Like I mentioned in the Georgia video, yeah, they put up, like 20 some points on Georgia, but like I said in that video, it was a weird season for Georgia. So you should easily beat Mississippi State. Um, it is loud in there. This is the second point. It's like loud in there because they have like those cowbells, ringing them, and it's all annoying, which it annoys me too. I don't know why they allow them to bring those dumbass cowbells in there and ring the shit out of them, but let all the hillbillies fucking do that for all I care. It ain't gonna help them in this game because Arizona State's gonna win. Um, the following week you have a home game against Texas State, another team sort of like a easy like game for you to win. Your backups will probably be in at some point. Um, and then the next week you have a road game at Baylor. Now David Harai, I really thought he was gonna be, like a good coach for Baylor. He could have went to like another school like Florida or something like that, but he honestly sort of reminds me of Billy Napier. It seems like he's not fitting well at Baylor either. Um, Now Baylor, I guess you could say they did get hot, sort of like towards the end of last season, but they just I don't know if they'll be able to carry it into this game. Now, obviously, if they can carry that momentum into this game, it's a different story. They may be able to pull off, like maybe the upset. But I'm gonna go with Arizona State to win this. Like I said, I know it's a road game, but I think Arizona State's better, and I just don't know how Baylor's gonna look around this time. So I'm gonna give Arizona State the win here. The following week, you have a home game against TCU. A lot of people are, predicting TCU to be pretty good this year. They obviously, a few years ago, made the national title, faced Georgia in it, which probably one of the games going down in history as one of the, worst games, you could watch. I mean, it was just hard to watch it. I mean, it was like a damn bully, bullying a little kid. I mean, honestly. Um, and then like the next season, they lost their opening game against Colorado. So, and after that, the TCU just wasn't like not talked about like hardly ever. Um, so I mean, you know, they could maybe be good this season, all that, but this is another game sort of like the Baylor game. I'm gonna go with Arizona State to win it. I just I think Arizona State's better than TCU, so I mean I have to go with it. And I'm gonna pause this real quick. The thing about these prediction videos, I'm trying my best to find losses. Could they lose to Baylor? Yes. Could they lose to TCU? Yes. Last season they lost some games that they shouldn't have lost. Like I said, they lost to Texas Tech and they lost to Cincinnati. I thought Arizona State was probably better than both those teams, but they lost them both. So they could lose one of those two. Um, but I don't see it. Um, but anyway, the following week, then you have a road game at Utah. I, I'm gonna give you the win. Um, Utah is one of those teams like these past few seasons. Like I thought they were gonna be pretty good and all that. And they just haven't really impressed me and all that. And this season, I'm sort of like on like thin ice with them. I'm like split like personality with them. Do I think they're gonna be good? Do I think they're gonna be bad? I really don't know. Um, but I'm gonna give Arizona State the win. It's a tough place to play at. I wouldn't be shocked if Utah were to win. I mean, just because they're well coached. But it's just Utah has been one of those teams these past few seasons that I mean I really thought was gonna be something sort of you know good. I thought they were gonna be like a really good team, but they haven't been that great. So I'm gonna go with Arizona State to win this game. You face Texas Tech at home. I'm gonna give you a loss here. I just think after a tough road game at Utah, I think you may slip this game here at home against Texas Tech. Obviously, you lost to them on the road last season. I think they are gonna get you again this season too. I just think after you have probably because I think the game against Utah, it's not going to be a high scoring game in my opinion. I think it'll probably come down to which defense gets the more stops. Um, I just think after a tough battle with Utah, I just think you're going to come home. Um, I think Texas Tech may like catch you sort of off guard or something like that. But I'm going to give you the loss there. Um, you have another home game the next week against Houston. I think you're going to win that game. Houston, I think a few years ago they were half decent, but ever since then they just haven't been good. Houston's just not really a team that, has been good for I don't know how long, honestly. Um, so, I mean, you should win this game, but I mean, like I said, I mean, you lost two games during your season last season that you shouldn't have lost, and you did. So I wouldn't be shocked if Houston beat you, but you should beat them. So I'm gonna give you the win there. Um, the next week you have a road game against Iowa State. I'm gonna give you your second loss here. You faced Iowa State in the Big 12 championship game last season. You beat them. I think coming to this game, Iowa State's gonna want some revenge. this game usually just about every year is at least somewhat half decent. It's pretty like close game and a good game to watch. Um, so I'm gonna give Iowa State the win here. I just think they're gonna like sort of come in with a pissed mentality to want to honestly kind of beat your ass. So I'm gonna give Iowa State the win there. Um, then you come home the next week. You face West Virginia, another team that has been decent a few years, but they haven't been like a 10-win team, 9-win team, and all that. West Virginia's kind of sort of a hit or miss team sometimes. Um, Last season I thought they were going to actually be somewhat decently good, and they sort of fell off a cliff, sort of. Um, I think you win this game at home against West Virginia. I just don't think they're going to be that impressive this season, so I think you win that game. Then you have a road game at Colorado. If Travis Hunter and Shedeur were still there, then this would probably be a coin toss prediction for me. But since they're gone, I don't know if they're gonna sort of be able to get that same like sort of team that they had last season. Uh, and I think you're gonna win this game. I just think losing Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter with those skilled players and what they brought to Colorado last season, I just don't think you can replace that and compete with a team like Arizona State. So for that reason, I'm gonna give you the win there. And then you finish off your season home against Arizona. Arizona last season, I mean, a lot of people thought Arizona was actually going to be pretty damn good. They just they fucking shit all over their foots, honestly. It just was I mean, they were just an awful team. They went from being predicted to be a pretty good Big 12 team to just being a shit team. Um I think Arizona. I think they faced Kansas State last season, and I believe Kansas State beat them by like 20 some points, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember entirely, but Arizona was not that great of a team last season. But I think you're gonna win this game. It's another team that I think you're better than. You should win. Um, so I mean, I have you going 11, or no, I got you going 10-2. Like I said, there's some games that could you slip? Yes, you very very well could slip. Um, will you? I don't know. Like I said, last season you lost to Texas Tech, you lost to Cincinnati. Like I said, I believe you were better than both those teams. But here's the thing about college football is if the better team was going to win every single game, then nobody would watch the sport, and you wouldn't even need to play the games. But that's the thing about college football is the better team don't always win. They're not going to win every single game. Like Arizona State, like I said, are they better than Baylor? Yes. Are they better than TCU? Yes. Are they better than Utah? Yes. Are they better than Houston, Colorado, West Virginia, Arizona? Are they better than those teams? Yes. Could they lose some of those games? Yeah, they could. It's college football. People have to understand that. People act like, oh, this team, they recruited so well, they went out in Portland, and they got every good player and all that. They're gonna win the whole national title, and then they don't win the national title. You have to realize the better team is not gonna win all their games on their schedule. They're gonna lose a game that they're not projected to lose, and that nobody's predicting them to lose. So I got you going 10-2. The opponents I have you losing to are, pretty reasonable. Um, so there you have it. Be sure to comment down how much of an idiot I am. And like I said, make sure you're commenting down what team you want me to do next. That way I can sort of, prepare and all that to predict whoever you want me to. But thanks for watching the video, and as always, have a good morning.